guys, happy Friday. I am so sorry about being late here. I was just on a call with a client. It took longer. It's been a busy day. Some of my people know I've been traveling and I've been back the last couple of days. I'm just catching up. So I'm so grateful to be here today to talk about why weight loss is so much more than just being in a calorie deficit. Okay, so the title of today's talk is It's Not Just a Caloric Deficit. So comment in the chat here if you're watching me live. If you're watching the replay, please give me a hashtag replay. I am here in Delray Beach, Florida, delivering this super popular topic. I've been seeing this trending on social media lately, and I wanted to hop in here and give my 2 cents because, yes, of course, like being in a caloric deficit is totally helpful for weight loss, and ultimately we teach that in CMW without counting calories, actually, which is a whole nother story. But we do teach you how to make better choices in order to be in a caloric deficit for weight loss. But oftentimes, even if we are eating the right foods and even though we are exercising, I find that sometimes clients, not just in CMW, but outside of CMW, weight loss is still different for them. They might not get the same results as other people doing the exact same thing in terms of nutrition and fitness, because you can have the same 5 people eat the same exact way and work out the same way, and they all have different results. Okay, because there are other factors that contribute to your success in the weight loss journey. And I want to talk about that today because these are things that people don't really consider or they don't think are that significant on the weight loss journey. And in CMW, we show you why they're significant and show you how to improve them so you can be successful, not just for your health and weight loss goals, but be successful for life. We want to teach you to have a sustainable, stress-free way of eating and living and thinking. Okay, so I'm going to go beyond nutrition today. I'm going to go beyond fitness. I'll talk a little bit about that later on, but I want to honestly talk a little bit more about the mindset piece. And before you pause the video or X out or whatever, hear me out on this, because oftentimes people think or they hear the word mindset and they think, oh, that's just go do yoga or meditate or go read a book or I need more self-care, blah, blah, blah. All of those things definitely fall under the umbrella of self-care, but that's actually not what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, because there are a few factors that contribute to our lack of progress on the weight loss journey when we are even in a caloric deficit. And that's what I want to talk about first. And then I want to talk about what an actual sustainable, stress-free way of eating for health and weight loss looks like without tracking. So I'll talk about that too. And then hopefully you'll have a better idea of what you need to be successful once and for all on your health and weight loss journey. So super excited to deliver this topic to you because I know I get a lot of questions about this. And I want to make sure that you are well informed and that you have a solution and you have the support that you need to hit your goals once and for all. Okay, I know summer's here. It's almost July. Holy moly. We've got bathing suits to wear. We've got places to go. And you guys just want answers and you want results. I feel you and I'm here for you. Okay, and so is my team, and that's what CMW is all about. So I want to talk a little bit about, again, why it's more than a caloric deficit. Okay, because I want to put this myth to bed. In order to be successful in the weight loss journey, besides, the calorie thing, we definitely have to understand your body and your mind. Okay. And what I mean by that is understand several factors that affect your metabolism, affect your hunger, affect your hormones, and just affect honestly, your motivation, right? Comment in the chat here if motivation is a struggle for you, right? Or I like to call it in CMW an opportunity for growth. Some weeks you're motivated, some weeks you're not, some weeks you have discipline, and then other weeks you don't, right? And there's a few things that affect that. Number 1 is your sleep. And those of you in CMW, I am on your cases about sleep. Okay, and I know I work with a lot of, nurses, for example, and they work long days or they work nights. I have some other clients that are different jobs that work nights. And so kind of having a schedule that allows them to maximize their rest is important, and how to work around those times that they can't get as much rest. But, if we are not getting adequate sleep, so I mean at least 7.5, 8 hours a night, it is going to affect your hunger. You are going to crave more carbs and sugars, and you're going to be less, tolerable of healthy foods, right? They're not going to be as exciting to you. You're not going to feel like cooking. You're not going to feel like exercising. Your energy is going to be drained. And honestly, you're much more susceptible to stress. Okay, and I'll talk about stress next, but, really lacking sleep is going to affect so many things. And even if you are eating in a caloric deficit and you are exercising, when you're lacking sleep, you are putting stress on the body and the immune system. And that is going to in turn affect your metabolism and it's going to affect your body's ability to change. And so this is why when I have clients that are doing all the right things, but there's like, well, I still only get 5 hours of sleep a night, it's like, well, something's got to change there. What can we do to maximize your rest? And I also want to, speak here to new moms, because I understand, that you're not maybe getting all the sleep you want. I totally understand. But what's really helpful about new moms is there's other things we can do that can help you, burn more calories and also like get your body more into equilibrium besides sleep. And we talk about that. But yeah, for most of the people, status quo, getting enough sleep is really important for you losing weight. It doesn't really matter, if you're eating a 1,200 calorie diet or a 1,600 calorie diet, it doesn't matter. The sleep is really key. Okay, your body's better able to metabolize those calories and utilize those calories if you are sleeping well and taking care of your body. And people don't realize that. Like, your body's ability to break down food in calories, it varies person to person, right? So even if you are eating X amount of calories, like, you might only be digesting or utilizing a portion of those calories, right? Or you're storing a lot of those calories, and then the other person's actually burning more of those calories because their body's more of a well-oiled machine, right? So a caloric deficit is really just like a small piece of the equation. The second piece I want to discuss is stress. Okay, because, this again, it comes from lack of sleep too, but also if you work a high stress job, or maybe you're just like a high strung person in general, or maybe you're doing tons of high intensity exercise on top of a high stress job and a high stress life, you're commuting, you're traveling, you're always on the go, blah, 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 comment if that's you. Okay, you're not sleeping at night because your thoughts are racing, right? All that stress, right? That is going to prevent your weight loss as well. Okay, so being able to manage your stress, change the way you look at those situations that create the stressful feeling, right? And we say this in CMW, that stress is a choice. This might be a rude awakening for some of you, but it's 100% your choice. Right? You've heard this quote before, I'm sure. Life is 80% what happens to you, or 90, what is it? 90% what happens to you, and 10%, or 90% how you react to it, and 10% what happens to you. It's been a long day. I can't talk today. But honestly, your response to these situations, your work, your family, your relationship, your commute, your travel, the traffic, right, is really up to you. Right? So, if we have a lot of the stress in the body, it's going to make weight loss harder. Those of you who tend to carry weight in your midsection, especially, a lot of that is stress related. And a lot of people come to me and they know it's stress related, and they know that's why they carry it in their waist. Okay, the third thing I want to talk to you about is the workouts. And I just alluded to this a little bit earlier, that a lot of high intensity exercise, we call it HIIT, a high intensity interval training, it doesn't serve everybody. Okay, especially for people that have lots of like subconscious stress. So some people will actually tell me, I'm not really stressed. I have a pretty easy life, or my job's not that stressful. I'm retired, my kids are out of the house, life is pretty good. But there's some subconscious stress, or there's lots of thoughts going through their mind. They're worried about things all the time. And then they're on top, they're doing all these high intensity workouts. No bueno. High intensity workouts don't work for everyone. Something else for women, and I know I have a lot of women in this group, women should know, is like the second half of your cycle, your metabolism and your body is under more stress, right? So doing more high intensity workouts is not going to benefit you, right? So doing workouts aligned with your cycle can be helpful too if you're not seeing results, or if you notice your body's like super run down and then you're pushing yourself to these crazy workouts, that's not good either. Or if you're super, super sick, and there have been people I know who've done this, they like push themselves for a really tough workout, you're breaking down the immune system. 30 minutes of a moderate intensity workout, that can boost your immune system, but high intensity working out while you're sick will break it down. Okay, one last thing we need to really understand about your mind and your body is we need to really take a look at your thoughts about weight loss. Okay, because I can't tell you how many times men or women I'm working with, if they're struggling for some reason, it's like, well, I'm eating all the right things, I'm working out, I'm doing my walks, I'm sleeping, I'm not really stressed, and like I'm still not at this number. Like, usually there's something going on about their thoughts regarding weight loss. Well, I should be here at this point because of blah, 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 right? Or they're worried that they're never going to get to their number. Or they're so focused on the number that any other progress they're making doesn't even matter. Their clothes can be fitting looser. Their inches can be going down. They look physically different, but the number is not where they want it to be, so they're constantly stressed. Right? Or they feel like, they're giving up all these things in their life. They're making all these changes, and it's just not worth it to them because they're not their goal weight just yet. And that, my friends, is a mindset that's not going to help. Okay? And I'm not saying that you can't get to your number. And everyone's weight loss journey is different. And I said this in an Instagram story I did the other day. Some people, they're really slow in the beginning, and then it just starts going down, right? Like they drop. Because their body, just takes a little more time to kind of like get revved up, right? And then once it becomes this well-oiled machine through nutrition, fitness, getting better sleep, stress management, all the mindset stuff we teach, controlling emotional eating, the self-sabotage, whatever it is, then they start going down with the weight loss. Some people lose weight really quickly in the beginning, it goes like this, and then like it plateau a little bit, and then it goes down. It might go up a pound, and then go back down again. And then some people are just slow and steady win the race, right? And the truth is, everyone can end up at the same points, but everyone's journey is different. And we have to be willing to accept that. It's just like looking at relationships. Some people can date for 6 months and then get married, and they last for 20 years, and they have a beautiful family, and they never break up. Some people are dating for 6 years and then get married, okay? And some people are, they are dating for 10 years, get married. Everyone has different circumstances. Everyone has different patterns and pathways. And it's important to realize that your journey might not be how you predict it. Right? I've also had people come into CMW and they're like, I want to lose 30 pounds, right? And then they lose 15 to 20 and they're like, wow, I look amazing. I'm actually really happy where I'm at. Like, I look way different. I have more muscle on me. I can see my midsection. I feel great. And I'm not asking you to settle for less. I'm just asking you to open up your eyes and your heart to that you can still be happy without that exact number. Because some of us have been chasing this number for so long. And you know what? What does that number really mean? This number on the scale is not an evaluation of your self-worth or that I finally did it. Right? I talk about this in my program sometimes with clients. Like, in my head, like, I'd love to be 130 pounds. I'm 5'6", and, I'd love to be 130. I like how I looked at 130. But for me in my life right now, for me to be 130, I pretty much, like, have to give up my wine. I have way less food freedom, and I go to bed hungry, probably. It's not worth it to me. I'm probably about 143 right now. I'm just guessing based on how my clothes fit, 145. 15 pounds. But you know what? People say I look the same. So what I encourage you to do, and this is, I'm not trying to compare you to me or anyone else, but I've heard clients say this before too. When they let go of the number and they focus on enjoying the journey, right? I want to learn nutrition. I want to learn about new foods. I want to try new foods. I want to move in a way that I enjoy. I want to wake up excited, right? When they let go of the expectation of the number, they find that their progress quickens. It's very odd to explain, hard to explain for that matter, but it just happens. Comment if that's happened to you. I want to see it. Comment if that sounds like you. Okay. So, it's not just a calorie deficit. like I said, you have to really understand your mind and body, right? And like I said, and when it comes to nutrition, yeah, you can count calories, but like I said, a lot of people underestimate. There's a 20 to 30% error rate in how people count their calories. So you might think you're in a caloric deficit, but you're not, right? And it also depends on how well your body metabolizes those calories. You might be storing all those calories, whereas someone else is burning more of them. Totally depends on the person. Okay? And now when it comes to being in a caloric deficit, it is important to pay attention to what you're eating 100%. Important paying attention to the macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbs. Carbs and fats especially, because fats can be satiating and healthy, but they're very calorically dense, right? So nuts, avocado, what else? Coconut. I'm trying to think of more. Seeds, oils. Those are all healthy fats. What I just mentioned. I didn't even go into like cheese and all the other amazing things. But we tend to overdo them, right? Portion control tends to be harder with those foods. So then it's hard to be in a caloric deficit with them. And then we hear, we should eat only healthy fats and cut out all carbs because they're so satiating and healthy, right? But on the other hand, carbs are less caloric, right? They're 4 calories per gram, whereas fats are 9 calories per gram. But oftentimes they're less satiating and they're more addictive, right? So there's a lot of not healthy carbs on the market, right? So sugar, for example, wheat is addictive, gluten is an inflammatory, and a lot of these foods are just not going to fill you up. Let's just be serious, right? Do people get full on rice? I'd love to learn how you do it. I can eat bowls of rice. But to create a caloric deficit, guys, without counting calories, you have to be paying attention to portions, additives in your foods as well, the frequency how often you're eating out, because you might think, I got salmon and broccoli from Cheesecake Factory, it's got to be low calorie or whatever restaurant, but they're putting lots of oil on there, and there might be sugar in there or flour or butter or whatever, and it's way more calories than you think, right? So the eating out frequently, that can also cause some people not to be in the caloric deficit, or they think they are, but they're not. So paying attention to portions, additives, frequency of eating out, and paying attention to your snacking is key, because we oftentimes consume way more calories than we think. I only had a bite of my son's mac and cheese. That doesn't really count. I'm still in a caloric deficit. No, you're probably not. Was it really a bite, or was it half a bowl? And then you had some of the goldfish, and then you had some of the Capri Sun. Oh my God, I used to love Capri Suns. So again, as much as we talk about caloric deficit, it's all about the caloric deficit. To really truly be in a caloric deficit, you've got to be on top of every calorie that you put in your body. There's no guesstimating. Even the apps are off sometimes. One glass of Chardonnay is not equal to all of them. Okay? I've done talks on alcohol in the past. You can go in my group here and look at them. But the way to lose weight without constant tracking. Okay, that's what we do in CMW. The first thing we do is look at nutrition. All right, we look at creating a sustainable, stress-free way of eating. And the way of eating has to be able to last for 3 to 6 months. So a lot of people that I work with, they go out to eat, or they travel, or they, want to order in sometimes. They don't want to count every calorie. They don't want to track macros. They want to be able to eat pizza and not feel guilty about it. Or they want to be able to go to a barbecue and feel like they can actually eat things and they don't have to bring their own food. You have to have a way of eating you do for 3 to 6 months minimum. That's a sustainable, stress-free way of eating. That's what we do in CMW. The fitness piece we teach, is yes, there's workouts, but then there's also walking and being active. What does your movement look like outside of the fitness? Do you do a workout and then sit all day long? If you do, you're really selling yourself short, right? The third piece is the mindset. You guys have heard this probably before. The mindset piece is the biggest piece. like I talked about today, why it's not just about being in a caloric deficit, right? Because oftentimes we do self-sabotage, right? We're emotional eaters. We give into cravings. We are really hard on ourselves with this negative self-talk. We have this all or nothing mindset. We're perfectionists. Oh my God, I messed up and now I just might as well screw it all up more. Or we're procrastinators. I'll start next week. Tomorrow I'll look up some recipes. Tomorrow I'll meal prep. Tomorrow, next week. It doesn't happen. And then the last piece is the accountability. Is this way of eating, is this going to keep working for me? Am I going to hit a plateau? Is this sustainable? Can I maintain my weight with this way of eating? And that's what our team in CMW does. We've got our dietitian, Danielle. We've got Kisa. We've got myself. We've got Pip, who's our vegan chef for people who want to learn how to incorporate more vegetables and plant-based proteins into their life. We are not a vegan coaching group, but we do have some plant-based vegetarian and vegan clients, and we support them tremendously. And it's important that you really like what you're eating, guys, because yes, we can absolutely teach you how to eat in a way that will help you lose weight and, maintain your results. But I want to be honest with you. We can also tell you what to eat and tell you how to move, and then you're missing the other pieces I talked about today. And then you are wondering why we're not successful. And I'm here to tell you that in order to be successful long-term, you need these 4 pieces. And Create My Weight truly is the only community that has that. And there's a reason why you'll watch the interviews that we do with clients, and they say this is something they could do for the rest of their life. Join me and Kirsten on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, and she'll tell you. She lost 40 pounds in our program. Busy nurse. Works 12-hour days. And also takes care of her grandmother. She did it. And she wants to keep going. She'll be fine. Sheila was another one. You heard her. She was the biggest skeptic in the book. I've got menopause. Nothing works for me. I've done everything. I hate all foods. I'm a picky eater. 36 pounds down. It's possible for you. And it's not just a caloric deficit. Those women I just mentioned and everyone else in CMW, not a single one of them counted a single calorie. You can ask them. And if you want to talk to a CMW alumni, I'm happy to put you in touch with one. And you can ask. Okay? It's not just a calorie deficit. Okay? Are there any questions on my talk today? Oh, Miss Chloe! What's up, girlfriend? I love it. Chloe, so good to see you, love. I just saw your comment. Yeah, what happened to Chloe? Chloe's interview is on my YouTube channel, probably here in the Facebook group somewhere. So proud of you. I'm happy that, yeah. When you let go of the expectation, guys, you are capable of so much more. I promise. Is when honestly, letting go of the expectation is letting go of the stress. That expectation is so stressful, is it not? It's like waiting for a guy to propose to you. You're so stressed about this person proposing to you that you're not enjoying the relationship. And then he's going to do when you least expect it, and it's going to be amazing. I don't know, random analogy, but it worked, right? I always say, guys, how we do one thing is how we do everything. All right? Okay, well, it is Friday night. I'm going to go do something fun. It's Friday. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I hope this talk was helpful for you. And I want to give you all the support in the world. And I hope you have the tools you need to be successful. If you're looking for some help, you want a strategy that is sustainable and stress-free. You want to let go of the expectation. You want to learn how to eat without counting calories and trying to figure this out on your own. It's so stressful. Book a call with us. CreateMyWeight.com/apply. Okay, just like Chloe did. And she was a rock star. She still is. Okay. And like the other women I mentioned today, and there are plenty more. You can check out our website, CreateMyWeight.com. You can see our Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Google. We're everywhere. And we're here to help you. Okay? Have an awesome weekend, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.